the summer of June 1993, a tragic murder was committed. In this documentary, we are going to be talking about the events that led up to and after the death of Christopher Romo and how his murder left a profound impact on Pueblo.
Oh, my name is Edwina Romo, Edwina, and Chris is my brother.
How was Romo as a person?
Very loving. He had two sides. When he was with his family, he was very loving, goofy. He was very sociable. Everywhere he went, he met friends. And then, he had his other side when he was with his friends. He was very serious and...
How was he as a big brother?
Oh, he was the best. He was like my second dad. He was a good big brother. He would do anything for us.
What's your name?
Bill Goodrich. Bill Goodrich. Goodrich. Chris is my first cousin.
How would Chris's friends and you describe him?
He was funny. He you could say, he joked around a lot. He had love for his family. He loved his little sisters a lot, and his mom and dad. I know that. He was just a good guy.
Well, can you tell me about how he was with his family versus his friends?
Well, his family, he treated him with love and all that. We would only treat one family member like a friend, but only at reunions just to mess around with him, though. That was Tommy, my stepbrother. We'd always beat him up. We'd jump him a lot when we were younger, just to do it. You get kind of sad about it, but we were just messing around with him. But I don't know. Chris loved his family a lot. That's all he had. He was around his family and his friends sometimes.
Okay, Juan Goodrich, D-W-A-N. My name's cousin.
Okay. So first question, how was Chris Romo's life?
His life was hard, I guess. Not hard in the sense of his family, but with his friends. He, I guess, felt that he needed to... It's hard to explain. He needed to live a life on the streets. He didn't have to because he had family where he could stay at, but he felt like his life on the streets was where he was respected, I guess.
What's a special memory you have with Romo?
Special memory. I have a lot of special memories with him. I was 14 when he died, but one thing I do remember that I always tell everybody is that when I was young, I was like in, I think, preschool, and we would walk. My mom would drop him off at his house every morning because she had to go to work, and he would walk me to school with his friends, and he would. There's like maybe 3 or 4 of his friends, and I was a little girl, I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and he made me walk behind him because he was a sweet guy. He was a nice guy, but he always made me walk behind him because he didn't want to be cool. So I always remember that.
On June 28, 1993, Christopher Romo was fatally shot in his room through his window while sleeping. 5 teenagers, members of the Young Crowd gang, went on trial for murder. Philip Montoya, David R. Carrillo, Anthony Carrillo, Jason Uriosti, Tim DeHera, Anthony Carrillo, who fired the fatal shot, entered a plea bargain for the second-degree murder and received 35 years. Montoya and David Carrillo received much more severe sentences. They were convicted of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor in 1994. Both received sentences of life in prison without a chance of parole. DeHera was granted immunity in the case in exchange for his testimony against Montoya and David Carrillo. Uriosti pleaded guilty to accessory to first-degree murder and was sentenced to 4 years probation.
How did his death change your family in ways people might not see?
Oh, when it happened, it was in our home. So, it took the safety of being in our home. It also, we all lived in fear. It was done in our home, and we didn't have that safety anymore. They took that from us. There was a lot of, depression. My sisters were little. My mom, she took it really hard, and so did my dad, so it was, it kind of ripped away my childhood.
And how did the family cope with the loss of Romo?
In the beginning, my mom slept a lot. My dad drank. I had a lot of hate in my heart. It was hard. We stopped celebrating holidays for a while. My mom didn't like to cook because she felt like she was missing somebody. I mean, there was just a lot. My mom was very overprotective of us after my brother died. Even our house, we had brick walls built around our house. We had security all through it. It was really difficult being that young and going through that.
What has been the hardest part of carrying the loss over the years?
It still didn't get easy. It's just, he died too young. It's like he knew he was gonna die. He always said it. And so it's just still hard, to go out there. It takes me a long time to go out there to the cemetery to visit his grave. I went out there the other day and it was hard.
How did his death affect the Pueblo community?
It fitted it real bad. It was like, that was a year of summer of violence. You guys weren't even born yet. Say 1993 was real bad. I mean, everybody was getting shot at, stabbed, jumped, beat up. It was just a real bad year for that year.
How did the death affect the family?
Our whole family took it very hard. I think in a sense it brought us closer though. But it was very hard because my aunt and uncle took it really hard. My parents took it really hard, and we were all really close to him. So we could feel that a part of us missing. So it was hard.
What do you remember from that day?
I know that day I had a friend spending the night, and my mom woke me up early in the morning and told me that my cousin Chris got shot. And I just remember blacking out and just wondering if he was gonna be okay. And I know I cried the whole time, and I was really hoping my friend would leave, but she didn't. But we ended up going to the hospital later on and found out that he had passed away before we got there, and so it was sad, really hard.
Anthony Carrillo was paroled in 2019 after serving 25 years. David Carrillo was granted clemency by Governor Jared Polis and was paroled on January 31st, 2024. Because it was evident that he had changed his mindset and pursued educational goals by becoming the first incarcerated adjunct faculty member in the country. He teaches business at Adams State University. Montoya was granted release before or by 2023. However, the exact date isn't specified in available sources. Although the Romo family had mostly forgiven David Carrillo's part in the murder, they tried to keep Montoya from being released. The bullet that took Chris's life left the Romo family forever wounded.
What are your feelings about the sentencing of the defendants and their early releases? And what are your feelings about the sentencing of the defendants and their early releases? What are your feelings about the sentencing of the defendants and their early releases?
Well, I mean, I'm upset about it. I mean, you don't want to see them free, but probably about 14 years ago, we went to the last appeal of David Carrillo, and he was gonna get a second chance from life in prison. They were gonna go to trial again, and we met with him. And my mom had told us that in order to be forgiven for our sins, we had to forgive. So we met with him, and that was one of them. We met with him and we forgave him, and he actually is doing very well in life. he is an advocate for prison reform. He works for CSUP. No, I'm sorry. He works for Boulder. He's doing well. The others, I can't say they are, but you know.
It ain't right. They took someone's life cowardly, and then they get to walk around here freely. That ain't right. Well, you figure granted they got charged as adults when they're young, but we were all friends, all of us. The guys that killed him and all of us were all friends, and the way they shot him was cowardly, and that they had over a dispute of gangs, and it just affected the community big time, because back then it's different than now. You know, we would fight one-on-one, all whatever, jump each other, but nowadays these young kids, they just shoot you, no questions asked, over the petty. You know, gangs, I realize it now, a long time ago, but they ain't what they all assumed out to be, you know. At the end of the day, you just got your family, and that's it. That's all you can count on, is your family. Your friends ain't there for you when you're in prison and all that other stuff.
As far as the sentencing, I was, I guess, satisfied with the sentencing. I was happy with the sentencing, but knowing that they're all out now, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it, because I know one of them became a professor and he's doing good for his life, and I guess with prison reform, if you're doing really good with your life, then I guess it's changed, but if you're not, then I don't think it's okay. I think they should still be in prison, honestly.
What would you want future generations of the family to know about Romo?
You know, every person has a reason to be here in life, and my brother served his purpose. There's people who I've spoke to who have changed their life in the better after my brother's passing, and you know, everything happens for a reason.
Okay, and what do you want people to learn from this story?
I want them to learn that gangs ain't all. You know, you have a better life out there, and go out there and enjoy life, or go to college, do something with yourself. You know, I was doing something similar to this in 2015. I was in the paper and everything for gangs, helping gang kids getting out of gangs and stuff too. So, you know, hopefully something happens, like, you know, they realize that you gotta remember, you know, life's too short. You know, you gotta make amends or spend time with the family members you love and just enjoy life, because it's over gang stuff, it ain't worth it.
How would you like Romo to be remembered?
I would want him to be remembered as a sweet, loving, caring brother, dad, cousin, uncle. He would be all of those things right now, and I don't want people to remember him as that other people see him as, or a gangster, because he's more than that. He's more to his personality, more to himself as that. He was a very family-oriented person. It's hard to think now, he was only 17 when he died, so it seems like he was a lot older, but he would be almost over 50 now, but I want him to be remembered as that sweet, loving, caring guy.
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's quick.
I know.
That's it.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, that's it.
June 28 was the date, 38 to the chest plate. Mommy dear's crying at the wake, and everybody's dressed up in black suits, going to pay their last respects to the black troop. Why they have to die is the question that we're under, but everyone knows that every day's a different number.